BYD stormed past Tesla to become the #1 EV manufacturer on the planet. BYD company announced a new technology claiming it can charge an electric vehicle almost as quickly as it takes to fill a gas agar. Electric vehicles, EVs, are taking over the world. And while Elon Musk and Tesla have been leading the charge, but a surprising twist has everyone talking. China's BYD, a major player in the EV game, just dropped a game-changing battery that's sending shockwaves through the industry. This isn't just a small upgrade. It's a massive leap that's got even Elon Musk on edge. So, what's so special about BYD's new battery? And how could it reshape the future of EVs? More importantly, what does it mean for everyday people like us? Before we move on, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest tech breakthroughs. Let's talk about the electric vehicle AEV world, where two giants, BYD and Tesla, are duking it out to power the future. The heart of this fight: batteries. These aren't just any batteries. They're the lifeblood of EVs, determining range, cost, and how fast you can charge up. Tesla, the American trailblazer, has been the EV poster child for years. Its sleek Model 3 and Model Y dominate roads powered by high-tech lithium-ion batteries. These batteries, like the 4680 cell, pack a punch with high energy density. Think longer drives on a single charge. Tesla's all about performance, aiming for that sports car vibe, even in a family sedan. But here's the catch. Those batteries use pricey materials like nickel and cobalt, which bump up costs. Plus, Tesla's been criticized for sticking to a traditional design mindset, almost like they're still thinking about gas-powered cars. Now, enter BYD, short for Build Your Dreams, a Chinese powerhouse that's been sneaking up on Tesla. BYD started as a battery maker, so they know their stuff. Their secret weapon: the Blade battery, using lithium iron phosphate, LFP technology. It's not as energy dense as Tesla's, meaning slightly shorter ranges, but it's cheaper, safer, and lasts longer. BYD's approach is all about practicality, making EVs affordable for the average Joe. In 2024, BYD sold 1.76 million EVs, nipping at Tesla's 1.79 million. They even briefly overtook Tesla as the world's top EV seller in late 2023. The competition gets spicy when you look at charging. BYD dropped a bombshell in 2025, unveiling a 5-minute charger that adds 250 miles of range, faster than filling up a gas tank. Tesla's superchargers, while impressive, take 15 minutes for 200 meters. BYD's pulling ahead here, and it's not just talk. They're rolling out 4,000 of these megachargers in China first. Tesla's got to step up, or risk being left in the dust. BYD just dropped a game-changer, their next-generation Blade battery. This isn't just a small tweak. It's a massive upgrade that could shake up the future of EVs. Imagine a battery that's safer, cheaper, and charges lightning fast. We're talking about a car that can hit 80% charge in record time thanks to a mind-blowing 1 megawatt charging capability. That's a first for passenger vehicles, and a huge deal. So, what's the secret sauce behind this battery? How did BYD pull off this leap? The big issue with EVs has always been batteries. They're the heart of an electric car, but they come with some headaches. Charging takes forever. Nobody wants to wait hours to juice up their car. They wear out too fast. Over time, batteries lose their ability to hold a charge. They're pricey. This is why EVs often cost more than gas-powered cars. But most EV batteries today are lithium-ion, packed with materials like nickel, cobalt, and manganese. These metals help store more energy, so your car can go farther on a single charge. But there's a catch. Mining and refining these metals is super expensive, which jacks up the cost of batteries and ultimately the price of EVs. BYD's new Blade battery tackles these problems head-on. It's designed to charge faster, last longer, and cost less, making EVs more practical and affordable for everyone. This could be the push needed to convince more people to switch to electric. Many EV batteries use nickel and cobalt, but these materials have a scary downside. They can get too hot and catch fire. In rare cases, they might even explode. You've probably seen headlines about EV battery fires, and that's got a lot of people worried about safety. Supply chain headaches. The materials for these batteries, like cobalt, come from just a handful of places, like the Democratic Republic of Congo for cobalt. This creates a big problem: supply shortages and unreliable deliveries. Plus, there are serious ethical concerns about how these materials are mined, which doesn't sit well with many folks. BYD's next-generation blade battery is stepping up to tackle these issues, aiming to make EVs safer and less dependent on tricky supply chains. BYD looked at all the headaches with EV batteries, safety risks, high costs, and short lifespans, and said, "Nope, we're not just tweaking things, we're rewriting the rules." Back in 2020, they unveiled their game-changing blade battery, and now they've leveled it up with a next-generation blade battery that's even more incredible. So, what makes the blade battery so special? Unlike most EV batteries that rely on pricey and risky nickel and cobalt, BYD's blade battery uses something called lithium iron phosphate, LFP. This one switch fixes a ton of problems. Traditional batteries can overheat and spark a dangerous chain reaction called thermal runaway, leading to fires or even explosions. Not the blade battery. BYD put it through brutal tests like stabbing it with a nail. Yep, the nail penetration test. Crushing it, bending it, and blasting it with extreme heat. Guess what? It didn't catch fire or lose its cool. It's like the superhero of batteries. LFP doesn't need expensive metals like nickel or cobalt, so it's way cheaper to make. That means lower prices for you, making electric cars more affordable for everyone. Most EV batteries start fading after a few years, losing their ability to hold a charge, which cuts down your car's range. But the blade battery, it's a marathon runner, lasting up to 5,000 charge cycles, way longer than typical batteries. The original blade battery was already a rock star, but BYD's next-generation blade battery is taking things to a whole new level. It's safer, cheaper, and more efficient, making EVs more practical and exciting than ever. BYD's out here making the future of driving look pretty awesome. BYD, the folks behind the Coolpong car brand, didn't just create an awesome battery, they made it even better. Since launching Pong in Europe last October, they've zoomed into 15 countries in just 11 months. And now, their next-gen blade battery is stealing the show. More power, same size. The old blade battery could hold about 150 watt-hours of energy per kilogram. Think of it like how much juice a battery can store for its weight. The new one cranks that up to 190 watt-hours, a 27% boost. This means your electric vehicle EV can drive farther on a single charge without needing a bigger or heavier battery. More road trips, less charging, super fast charging. Tired of waiting forever to charge your EV? The new blade battery charges from 30% to 80% in just 30 minutes, using a fast charging system that pumps up to 110 kilowatts of power. That's like going from low battery to ready to roll in the time it takes to grab a coffee. Way more convenient. This battery stays cooler while charging, which means less energy gets wasted as heat. That's not just good for efficiency, it also helps the battery stay healthy for longer, so it keeps powering your car for years. How did BYD pull this off? No magic here, just hard work. BYD's been tinkering with batteries for years, testing and tweaking to make each version better than the last. Their new blade battery is proof that slow and steady wins the race. How did BYD make their latest electric vehicle EV battery so impressive? It all comes down to smart chemistry and clever manufacturing. Most EV batteries use a mix of nickel, cobalt, and manganese. These materials pack a lot of power, but they're pricey, hard to find, and can overheat. Plus, cobalt mining is expensive and often raises ethical concerns. BYD went a different route with their blade battery using something called lithium iron phosphate, LFP. Why is that a big deal? LFP batteries are super safe. They don't overheat easily. They're also way cheaper because they skip those rare, costly metals. And here's the kicker. They last longer, so you get more bang for your buck. But BYD didn't just stop at picking better materials. They fine-tuned the battery's design, tweaked how it stores energy, and boosted its efficiency to new heights. On top of that, BYD's manufacturing game is next level. Unlike other companies that rely on suppliers, BYD controls the whole process from raw materials to the finished battery. This lets them make upgrades others can only dream of. With the new blade battery, they streamlined production to save money, redesigned parts for better performance, and cut out waste that drives up costs. The result? A battery that's powerful, long-lasting, and affordable, making EVs more accessible than ever. BYD's latest battery breakthrough isn't just about power. It's about keeping things cool and affordable too. Batteries get hot when they charge or power a car, and too much heat can damage them or even cause fires. Most batteries need complex cooling systems to stay safe, but those add extra costs and hassle. BYD flipped the script with their new Blade battery. They redesigned the materials so the battery doesn't get as hot in the first place. Less heat means less need for fancy cooling, which makes the battery safer, more efficient, and longer lasting. It's a win-win. So, how does this shake up the electric vehicle EV world? For years, big players like Tesla, GM, and Volkswagen have used traditional lithium-ion batteries packed with nickel and cobalt. These batteries store a lot of energy, but have big downsides. They're expensive, can overheat, and rely on tricky supply chains that make production unpredictable. BYD's second-generation Blade battery solves all these issues in one swoop. Here's why it's a game-changer. First, it's all about affordability. Batteries are a huge reason EVs can be pricey. Nickel and cobalt cost a fortune, and most car makers rely on outside suppliers, so prices can swing wildly. BYD's battery skips those costly metals and uses lithium iron phosphate, LFP, instead. Plus, since BYD controls every step of production, they keep costs down without cutting corners. The result? EVs that are way more affordable, pushing other companies to lower their prices too. With this battery, BYD is making EVs safer, cheaper, and more reliable, paving the way for a future where electric cars are within everyone's reach. Let's start with safety. EV battery fires are rare, but they grab headlines when they happen. Traditional lithium-ion batteries packed with nickel and cobalt can overheat and, in worst-case scenarios, catch fire or even explode. That's a worry for drivers and car makers alike. BYD's Blade battery was already a safety superstar, passing tough tests like being punctured or heated without catching fire. The new version is even better, staying cooler and more stable, making EVs safer than ever. Now, let's talk charging. The new Blade battery can zoom from 30% to 80% charged in just 30 minutes. That's a big deal. One of the main reasons people hesitate about EVs is charging time. Nobody wants to wait around when a gas car can be refueled in minutes. But with charging this fast, EVs are starting to feel just as convenient. And BYD's not done. Future upgrades could make charging even quicker, perfect for road trips or busy commutes. Here's where it gets wild. BYD is putting the entire EV industry on notice. Big players like Tesla, Volkswagen, and General Motors are feeling the heat. Tesla's already dipping its toes into lithium iron phosphate LFP batteries for some cheaper models, showing they know this tech is the future. But while Tesla buys those batteries from suppliers, BYD makes everything in-house. That gives them a huge advantage in keeping costs low and pushing innovation fast. Volkswagen and GM, though, are in a tougher spot. Their factories and supply chains are built for old-school lithium-ion batteries with cobalt and nickel. Switching to something like BYD's LFP-based Blade battery would take years and billions of dollars. They either stick with their current tech and risk falling behind, or make a massive investment that could hurt their profits for a while. Plus, governments worldwide are pushing hard for more EVs to cut emissions. BYD's cheaper, safer, and more efficient battery makes EVs more affordable for everyday people, speeding up the switch to electric. This could push regulators to demand other car makers step up their game to match BYD's standard. In short, BYD's Blade battery isn't just a better battery. It's a wake-up call for the EV world, making cars safer, faster to charge, and more affordable while daring the competition to keep up. Time's ticking for BYD's competitors. If big names like Tesla, Volkswagen, and GM don't come up with their own game-changing battery soon, BYD could zoom ahead and grab a huge slice of the electric vehicle EV market. But this isn't just about BYD winning. It's about the future of how we get around. Electric vehicles are already super popular, but some things have kept people from jumping on board. Slow charging, limited driving range, high prices, and worries about safety. These hurdles have made some folks stick with gas-powered cars. BYD's second-generation Blade battery tackles all these problems in one go. Faster charging means you can power up in just 30 minutes, making EVs as convenient as filling up a gas tank. Lower costs mean more people can afford an EV without breaking the bank. Better range means you can drive farther without stressing about running out of juice. Top-notch safety means less risk of fires or issues, giving drivers peace of mind. With these upgrades, EVs are about to become way more popular. More people will switch to electric. Governments will push harder for clean transportation, and industries will race to keep up with this electric revolution. Why BYD's hybrid engine could outshine traditional EVs. Electric vehicles. EVs are everywhere, but BYD's hybrid engine is stealing the spotlight. Wondering what makes it so special? Let's break it down in a way that's easy to get. The hybrid, created by Chinese automaker BYD, isn't your typical EV. It's a plug-in hybrid FIV that mixes a super-efficient gas engine with an electric motor and a battery. Think of it as a car that can run on electricity for your quick daily drives, like to the store or work, and then switch to a hybrid mode for those longer road trips. This clever combo, part of BYD's dual mode, DM tech, means you get the perks of an EV without worrying about running out of juice. It's like having a car that adapts to your life, making it a serious contender to replace traditional EVs. Why BYD's hybrid engine solves EV worries. Ever stress about your electric vehicle EV running out of power on a long drive? That's called range anxiety, and it's a real thing. But BYD's hybrid engine is here to make that worry a thing of the past. Here's the deal. The hybrid is a plug-in hybrid, meaning it's got both a battery for electric driving and a gas engine for backup. You can zip around town on electric-only mode for daily stuff like going to work or the grocery store, covering dozens of kilometers without using a drop of gas. Need to hit the open road? No problem. The gas engine jumps in, giving you a total range of over 1,000 kilometers, like in BYD's Chin Plus DMI, when fully charged and fueled up. Most EVs only get 400 to 500 kilometers. So, this is a game changer. With the Highfield, you get eco-friendly driving, plus the freedom to go wherever, whenever, without hunting for a charger. It's green, practical, and stress-free. Thinking about going green, but worried about the cost of electric vehicles, EVs? BYD's hybrid engine makes eco-friendly driving affordable and easy for everyone. The hybrid powers BYD's plug-in hybrids, which use smaller batteries and efficient gas engines instead of the big, pricey battery packs found in full EVs. This keeps costs down. Models like the BYD Song Plus DMI start at just around $15,000 in China, a steal compared to most EVs. You'll also save money on gas, since the electric mode covers your short daily drives, like to work or the store. Plus, these hybrids are cheaper to maintain than regular gas cars because they have fewer parts that wear out. Best of all, you don't need a fancy home charger or tons of charging stations nearby, which can be a hassle in some areas. The Hired makes going green budget-friendly and super practical for everyday drivers. Environmental impact and efficiency. Now, let's talk about the planet. You might think EVs are the greenest option, but the hybrid engine gives them a run for their money. Its fifth-generation DM technology achieves a jaw-dropping fuel consumption of just 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers when the battery is depleted, way better than most gas cars. When running on electricity, it's zero emission, and even in hybrid mode, it cuts carbon emissions significantly compared to traditional vehicles. BYD's focus on efficient engines and smart energy management means you're using less fuel overall. Plus, the Hired's smaller battery reduces the environmental impact of battery production, which can be resource-intensive. For drivers in areas where electricity isn't always clean, think coal-heavy grids. The hybrid's hybrid approach can sometimes be greener than charging an EV, balancing efficiency with real-world conditions, challenges, and the road ahead. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. The Hired engine still relies on gasoline, which isn't as eco-friendly as a fully electric system in the long run. Scaling up production and ensuring a steady supply of batteries and chips could also be tricky. But BYD's vertical integration making everything from batteries to motors in-house, gives them a leg up. As charging infrastructure grows, full EVs might regain the edge. But for now, the hybrid's practicality wins. BYD's rapid innovation, like their 1,084 horsepower electric motor, shows they're not slowing down, keeping the hybrid competitive. Thanks for joining me today to dive into the exciting world of BYD's next-generation Blade battery. This game-changing tech is set to power EVs with longer ranges, faster charging, and top-notch safety, potentially hitting over 1,000 kilometers on a single charge. If you're as pumped as I am about the future of electric vehicles, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on the latest EV innovations. Drop a comment below. Do you think BYD's Blade battery will outshine traditional EVs? Let's chat. And if you want to learn more about cutting-edge tech like this, check out my other videos right here. Until next time, keep driving toward a greener future.